What's good YouTube, Ben here, welcome to the next video on the channel. In this one, I'm going to give you my next Steel Path viable build on Warframe. This is going to be for Paracesis. Let's get into this. Right, okay, so Paracesis is a heavy weapon, and it's a really strong blade actually, which is really nice. I've finally gotten around to putting a build on it, so let's jump in. With the stance mod, we've got Cleaving Whirlwind, Arcing Cuts with Spinning Finish. We've got Prime Pressure Point for 165% melee damage. Blood Rush for 40% critical chance, stacks with the combo multiplier. Galvanized Steel for 110% critical chance, times 2 for heavy attacks, and on melee kill plus 30% critical damage for 20 seconds, stacks it 4 times. Galvanized Reflex for 50% heavy attack efficiency, on melee kill plus 20% initial combo for 20 seconds, stacks it 4 times. We've got Amalgam Organ Shatter for 85% critical damage and plus 60% heavy attack wind-up speed. Gladiator Vice for 30% attack speed and 10% melee combo chance per critical chance per combo multiplier. Virulent Scourge for 60% toxin and 60% status chance, and Vicious Frost for 60% cold and 60% status chance. And in the arcane slot, we're running Melee Animosity, rank 5 on melee hit, gain 42% critical chance on your next heavy attack, up to 420%. So as you can see, we're running a melee critical build. So the critical chance on this weapon by default is 65.1%, but that will go higher with both Galvanized Steel on the damage, and then it'll also go up with Blood Rush. So it's another build where mods connect to other mods. For example, Galvanized Steel gives us critical chance and critical damage. Then Galvanized Reflex gives us initial combo, and Blood Rush will give us critical chance per combo multiplier along with Gladiator Vice. So these bonuses aren't going to show on here. So the critical chance is actually around about, once you hit like 3 times combo multiplier, about 100%. So you'll almost always guarantee hit crits. With the 4.8 times critical multiplier and 38.4% status, with viral status to help slash through health, we can do an absolute crap ton of damage. But let's get into the mission. I'll show you what this thing can do. Alright, so as per usual, we're at Oxymoko in the Void, and I'll quickly explain why we're here. So Oxymoko is, like I said, in the Void, and it's on Steel Path, so it's one of the latest game areas in the Steel Path. And whilst you're here, you're dealing with the Corrupted, and with the Corrupted, you're dealing with enemies with just health, enemies with high health and shields, and enemies with health and high armor, giving you a more varied example of what your weapon slash Warframe can do. I'm using Nekros Prime, because Nekros Prime doesn't have any melee boosting arcanes or stance mods, like Steel Charge, for example. So there's no artificial boost to any of our damage, which is exactly what we need for this, because you guys are going to need to see the raw damage of this weapon as it is, which you are going to see. Now, as you can see, we're always landing critical hits. Like I said, once the combo multiplier starts to build, that's basically it. You start slashing through everything. Because of the mod setup, you're just going to end up just absolutely decimating everything with viral damage. And then, of course, because viral works in conjunction with slash anyway, the slash hits through health as well, you're going to be hitting through health quite a lot. So we're just going to go ahead and start slashing through all the enemies. Now, the cool thing with a weapon like Paracesis is because of it being a high critical weapon, you don't need to run that much status because the criticals are going to do a lot of the damage anyway. But then, of course, viral is also going to play a big factor in it as well. And as you can see, we're absolutely chomping through Eximuses, which is very nice. But because of our mod setup as well, we can also get really high-hitting heavy attacks as well. Like, for example, doink. You can really live off heavy attacks on this weapon as well. So it gives you a much more varied moveset. You don't have to just spin to win the entire time. And don't worry, as per normal, I will wait in until we've gotten to the Acolyte, just so you can see what this thing does to Acolytes. Spoiler alert, if you're on a decent combo multiplier, you shred them. Like, melee's always been the strongest form of weaponry in the game anyway, and it still kind of is. Especially now with melee arcanes being released. Because melee arcanes just absolutely increase stuff tenfold. Like, melee arcanes are absolutely redonkulous. Like, in my opinion, I prefer melee animosity to most of them because, at least with animosity, it's quite a generalized arcane. You can just slap it on any weapon and use it with any Warframe, essentially. I mean, don't get me wrong, ideally, you want to slap it on with a Warframe that has, like, Steel Charge to get boosted damage. But as it stands, as you can see, we are absolutely slicing through everything. Something else I want to quickly point out as well, this is a Steel Path viable build. So what does that mean? So it's labeled a viable build because it is viable to get you through the Steel Path. Like, you could very easily get through every mission in the Steel Path with this build. Will it get you to level cap at 9,999 enemies? Probably not. But will it do work for you until that time? Yes. Like, will it work for you? Will it get you through like every mission you want to get through? Yes. It will more than happily do that for you. So you don't have to worry about not being able to get through your missions with this build, but it is viable. Like, this is a build you can definitely use for the Steel Path. As you can see, I'm on the Steel Path, so I'm not having really any issues. There is Nekros there that I do want to take out in a sec, because he can wombo combo my Nekros. There we go. Okay, there we go. But as it stands, like, solid weapon. Like, I can't really moan. Boom. Taking out that laser before it absolutely nukes me. Like, I love Nekros, one of my favorite frames at this point, but he is incredibly squishy. Oh, Jeebus. Man, absolutely sliced through the gunner's health. There we go. So I do have to really be careful with Nekros. Like I said, good Warframe, pretty squishy. But I do run Gloom on my Nekros purely to make him survive a lot more. Technically, he'd be more survivable if I would activate Shadows of the Dead. But I don't like to activate it unless necessary in these builds. Purely just because I don't want any kind of... I don't want anyone moaning in the comments, essentially, that I activated a damaging ability when I should be showcasing the weapon on its own. I've had comments like it before with Nekros. It's not as if, like, Shadows of the Dead does a lot of damage. In fact, they're there to actually help protect you. But, again, I've had comments like it in the past. So I'll only activate it if necessary. I need to take out that leech. Oh, lame. You actual butthole. Get out of it. Right, there we go. So the Acolyte's coming in. Need to build up my combo multiplier as much as I can.
Stay focused. There's a heavy
Who is it? It's Angst. Okay, where is he? There he is. So, that's been cut through, and he's dead. Can you shred Acolytes with this build? Yeah. Once his shields have been cut through, that's it. Like, one heavy attack and he was done. You can absolutely shred Acolytes with this build, which is very nice. But yeah, let me know what you think about this build in the comments down below. Don't forget you can support the channel completely for free just by liking, commenting, and subscribing. It does greatly help the channel. Don't forget you can support the channel even further by becoming a channel member from as little as 99 pence per month. And don't forget, I do live stream. When I go live here on YouTube and over on Twitch. My streams here on YouTube are in the shorts form feed, more for mobile. If you want to catch the exact same streams at the exact same time in full 1080p, then feel free to join me on Twitch. That link is in the description below.